Hello everyone, this is Babamot. Welcome to another Homeworlds commentary. This is a game between Amnykon and the Roundabout. This game took place in February 2023, and at this point, Amnykon had been playing for about a year, and the Roundabout had been playing for about a month. Amnykon is a very strong player who's been featured frequently on my channel. They have been quite dominant in the arena portion of Board Game Arena for Homeworlds. The Roundabout, I don't remember too much about their strength at this point in time, though I remember they've always been a very eager learner. Let's see how this game goes. All right, Amnykon starts off with a blue-yellow large Gemini. The Roundabout takes the same. Both players build. Amnykon moves out immediately to a blue star. Roundabout trades for red immediately. Amnykon builds green in the colony. Roundabout gets aggressive, threatening to capture one of these new ships. Amnykon switches to building at home. Let's see, does the Roundabout build the green at home, or do they take one of the greens in the colony? They take one of the colony greens. Now Amnykon can choose to build at home or build in the colony. They could even trade one of their ships, I suppose. Building green in the colony. Yes. Now let's see. Roundabout could build green in the colony as well for an overpopulation. And the Roundabout, I think, ultimately would be very, very slightly ahead after that exchange. They'd have ships in two colors, and they'd have them in two different systems. Let's see what they decide. They're thinking about the overpopulation. They thought about it again and changed their mind and went for a medium green at home. Changed their mind about that as well. Commit to the overpopulation. Okay. I think that is ultimately the right choice. Otherwise, Amnykon could have traded that medium ship for another color to avoid the overpopulation and possibly start capturing back Roundabout's ships. Amnykon trades for red. Roundabout builds green. Amnykon builds. Roundabout trades for blue. Amnykon might trade for that blue, though it would give Roundabout the next medium, but Amnykon will get a medium right after that, of course. Now what does Roundabout want? They may want to trade one of their blues, or they could spread them out. They might even want to reinforce that colony, since it is also connected to Amnykon's home. They could reinforce with the medium. They trade for medium yellow. Yeah, Amnykon getting aggressive now. So Amnykon can here sacrifice little red to pick up a little red. Roundabout falls down by a red, and Amnykon was in pretty good position after that. Let's see if Roundabout comes up with something to do with this. Sacrificing the Y2? I don't know if that's going to go anywhere. Let's see. Sacrificing the Y3. The G3, I mean. Yeah, there's not enough building to do that they could get a large ship back. I don't care for that. Okay, Roundabout demonstrates the ultimate squonk. The squander sacrifice to throwing away the little red just to make sure Amnykon doesn't get it. Amnykon trades for green. That's well, no, they changed their mind. They're discovering a new green star. All right. Amnykon's feeling indecisive. Let's skip ahead to their commitment. All right. They trade the blue for a little yellow. Yeah, they don't want to get left too far behind in yellow. I think that was pretty good. Though I would have strongly considered doing that in the colony instead. I even liked the trade for the green pretty well. Trading for yellow at home, they've already got two yellow things at home now. If Roundabout builds a little yellow at home, Amnykon won't be able to build more yellow until they spread the yellows out. Okay, Roundabout thinking about building another blue. That's not safe, though. Amnykon has yellow access now. They could sacrifice to destroy Roundabout's star. Roundabout sees it and trades for red instead. That's trading away their only blue ship. So they're in some... That puts them in some danger of falling behind in blue. Amnykon can't... Well... Amnykon can immediately send their blue to Roundabout's home, so maybe they were worried about that and thought that they had to get a red right away. And they could be right. I'm trying to avoid thinking about it too long and deeply and annoying anybody. All right, Amnykon builds green. Roundabout builds green. Amnykon spreads out the yellow. I think that's a good idea. That blocks Roundabout from building any more yellow for at least a turn. And Amnykon now has space to build yellow more safely. Roundabout thinking about giving chase. Thinking about it several times. Or trading away the little green. I actually like that pretty well. Trading the green for blue. Now's as safe a time as they're going to have to get into the blue economy, I think. And it wouldn't even reduce the number of... They would still have a green ship at home, so no trouble there. Okay. Changing their mind, thinking about building yellow. No, that's definitely a poor idea. The little yellow of Amnykons can move in for the overpopulation. Yeah, moving the Y2 into Betelgeuse doesn't do much, since the little yellow can just run away. And yeah, Roundabout feeling a little indecisive. Let's see what they come up with. Yes, this is the move that they put forward that I like the best, I think. That little blue can now go to another colony someplace and start building additional blue. All right. Amnykon builds another yellow. If Amnykon starts pushing those yellows into Roundabout's home, Roundabout can lose their star pretty easily. I think Roundabout needs to move that yellow away. I guess the threat is okay. Amnykon can build again to overpopulate. Two smalls into the initiative for a medium yellow is not too bad. Actually, I guess that would be kind of handing the initiative back, leaving the initiative with Roundabout. I don't know why I threw that in. Sometimes I say things because I want to say them without actually deciding if they're truly correct. But anyway, that would leave Amnykon ahead in material if these yellows get overpopulated on Amnykon's turn. Yeah, evacuating to a small star seems quite good. Or a medium star, for that matter. Amnykon spreading out green. And taking a medium yellow out of the bank. Yeah, that seems alright. That leaves, well, I guess I don't have to talk about all the bank consequences right now. Especially since they're changing their mind. Yeah, spreading out the yellows is good. Gives them more space to build the yellow. I like that. Roundabout spreads out the blue. Yeah, keeping any ships of your home star colors at home is a little scary. Amnykon building more yellow. I bet roundabout will build the Y2. Now they're thinking about the green one. Yeah, build the bigger ship. Build the bigger ship. Building blue. Also a pretty good option. Amnykon is not in a great position for building blue, so roundabout can try to get an advantage there. All right, roundabout officially got indecisive there. They ended up sticking with the green. That, yeah, that surprises me a little bit. I usually get the biggest ship that I can, and then trade it for whatever color I'm interested in. Amnykon takes the medium yellow. Yeah, and see now roundabout, if you build that medium yellow, then Amnykon gets a large yellow. Roundabout building the blue now. Okay. Amnykon spreading out the yellows again. Or spreading out the blue. And when some of these times when I'm saying spread out, I just mean separating the blue ship from the blue star, even though I usually think of the term spreading out being to separate ships of the same color. Okay. Yeah. Making it safer to build blue. Opening up the large yellow for Amnykon does not seem good to me. I don't know that there's much advantage to having that Y2 there. Oh, I guess it's poised to overpopulate Amnykon's yellows, though Amnykon can just spread out. Or trade for red. Both good options. Yeah, getting aggressive with that little yellow, I guess, is kind of interesting. Ooh, trading for the G2 opens up the G3, but neither player's in a position to build it. Amnykon would get the, or roundabout, I suppose, would get the first chance. They could separate their greens and then prepare to build. Amnykon, these are some of the most interesting moves in the game to me. When you move a small ship of a hotly contested color toward your opponent, making it harder for them to build, maybe making it easier for you to build, but maybe it gets captured, and maybe that's okay, because here roundabout definitely doesn't want to lose the only red they've got for that capture. They sacrifice the blue to trade yellow for red. I don't like that much. That would put roundabout with no yellows whatsoever. And while they threaten to capture this yellow, it will surely just run away. Building the medium blue seems not too bad. Amnykon could overpopulate, but they'd lose 2 mediums to do it. Trading for red seems pretty good here. It prevents Amnykon from building the medium blue, and gives roundabout a pretty good head start in the reds that now have the mediums available. Okay, they stick with the medium blue build, though. Let's see if Amnykon does the same. No, they build the yellow. Yeah, roundabout still doesn't want to sacrifice for the capture, and Amnykon can build the large yellow here in Altair. This is looking pretty sticky. How does roundabout block? Let's see. They can trade away their only yellow ship. That's ugly. They can discover the large yellow as a star, but only if they sacrifice their only yellow to do it. Gosh. I don't like this position for roundabout at all. I'm curious to see what they come up with. Sacrificing your only yellow? To move a couple of blues into Amnykon's home, Hmm. I guess that's interesting. They would probably get the star. Amnykon would only be able to block by building or discovering the remaining two blues. So they changed their mind, but Roundabout is still thinking about that invasion. I would generally invade with the smalls, just in case something goes wrong. I'd rather maintain my medium than a small. Okay, well, um, yeah. So the yellow sacrifice prevents Amnykon from building the Y3. That's one thing. And Amnykon is probably going to lose their star. But Roundabout doesn't have any more yellow to bring in the last blue. They'll have to do a build for it. And for that, they rely on there being still two blues in the bank. If Amnykon were to build those two blues, they could sacrifice the G3 to build both blues in Betelgeuse, but then Roundabout can overpopulate them by moving in one of the yellows, now sitting in Amnykon's home. Alternatively, Amnykon could discover both of these blues with a Y2 sacrifice, and in either case, Amnykon is in the would be left in the unhappy position of Roundabout having the option to sacrifice a little red, capture Amnykon's only red ship, and starting to become a real nuisance. I think Amnykon might be better off ignoring this threat and just building... Oh, I guess they can't build the Y3 anymore. But since Roundabout's completely out of yellow, it wouldn't be totally unreasonable for Amnykon to sacrifice G3, build the two yellows, so that Amnykon would have all the yellow in the world, Roundabout would have none, and Roundabout would have a pretty hard time getting Amnykon's other star. Let's see if that's what they do. Hey, called it. Cool. And they've got one more build action. I think they should build a little red so that if Roundabout takes one of the reds, Amnykon can take the other. Can just take it right back, that is. Yeah, okay. Well, we're thinking alike, whether that's good or not. All right. What you got now, Roundabout? You gonna build that last blue? I think you should. Ooh. Oh. um, yeah, I suppose there's no particular hurry, especially since trading that blue for red puts another blue back in the bank. It would now be extremely costly for Amnykon to discover all of the blue. They'd have to sacrifice the Y3 to move all of their ships, to move a bunch of ships to new blue stars. Wow. That's a sweet move. I like that. At least at first I do. Problem with that is it opens up, well, it leaves the R2 available for Amnykon to build. Amnykon can just build an R2, and then there's stuff that Amnykon can't capture. The R2 gives Roundabout something to sacrifice that they can take both of uh, the reds that Amnykon currently has at home. Boy, what a nuisance. It's really tough when you get some ships in your home that you can't quite shake. Okay, well, it was a cool move. I think it doesn't quite work out, though, because if Amnykon just builds R2, then they've got something that Roundabout can't capture or catastrophe. Interesting. They're sacrificing the G3 to build one blue, a green, and a green again. They could knock out the star that way, but then they'd be left with 3 greens at home. Amnykon can destroy Roundabout's mothership with a Y2 sacrifice to send in the little green. So that's not so good. Let's see if they've got a better way to approach this. Building the blue, building the green, building the green. No, still that's the same move. It's got the same problem. Yeah, so from this position... I'm gonna bring up my whiteboard. Okay, so from this position, Amnykon sacrifices Y2 to bring the Y3 over 1, 2 jumps, take out Roundabout's greens, and then Amnykon still has a Y3, Roundabout has no large ships, and Roundabout's in big trouble. So, Roundabout should definitely take that back. Thinking again about the trade for red. Yeah, I think this is not quite going to cut it. I think Roundabout would have been better off sacrificing their G1 to build for the overpopulation. Let's see what Amnykon comes up with. They reinforce their home with the large. Okay, so Amnykon has a mothership again. What does Roundabout do? I think their best options are sacrifice the R2 to capture these reds, or sacrifice the G1 to build a blue. I think taking the reds is probably better. If you've got 4 ships in your opponent's home, there's a lot of opportunities for causing more mayhem. Yeah, Amnykon, I think they actually should have built the R2 to defend rather than bringing home the Y3, because their opponent is about to have reds in their home while Amnykon has no reds at home. Yeah, I think that's the right move, Roundabout. They're feeling a little indecisive, though. They commit to it. Okay, boy. Wow, what a position. Amnykon's got all the yellow, but they've got no red and can't shake these small ships in their home. If I'm Amnykon, I guess I trade one of my Y2s for red, maybe? Build medium green? Okay. Yeah, so Roundabout can't capture that medium green yet, but Roundabout could sacrifice their G1 to build an R2 in Amnykon's home, and then the Roundabout can start capturing mediums. That's a spooky thing. Yeah, I would prefer Amnykon to trade one of these yellows for red so they can take multiple reds at once. Sacrificing Y2 to discover 2 large greens. I guess that means they're worried that Roundabout's going to press their green advantage and start getting a big material lead. I'm not seeing that, though. I'm not imagining that that's going to be what happens. Yeah, this is the move I like. Trade the yellow for red. Okay. Amnykon now. They could just capture that little green. That's something. Sacrificing R1 at home for that little green capture. They don't have to sacrifice their R1, though. They can do that capture for free. Yeah, do it without the sacrifice. Okay. Um, what now? Roundabout. Oh, well, I guess we need to see if. Oh no, Roundabout just committed. Amnykon. Well, one awkward thing here is that Amnykon, if Roundabout were to abandon their home, uh, and discover, say, this Y2 star as a Y2 ship piece as a star, they would be able to move into Amnykon's home, and Amnykon wouldn't be able to counter invade with a large. They could counter invade with a medium, though, so I guess that's not as it's not as much of a problem as I thought that Amnykon can't move their mothership, I suppose. Um, Amnykon builds blue. Yeah, they've got a good material lead, but they've got a lot of little invaders. Okay, roundabout. Oh, now that Amnykon has no green, the G3 sacrifice makes more sense. They would be able to they could do a factory. They could build one or two medium greens in Amnykon's home and rebuild their large green at home. That's not a bad move, I think. Roundabout, if they trouble with building a medium is that Amnykon can capture that medium with a red sacrifice, and Roundabout won't be able to capture it back. Sometimes it's better to keep your ships all small if they're threatening to be captured. Yeah, same problem with the medium green. It can be captured without the chance to take it back. Let's see what Roundabout chooses. They can build that blue without the need to sacrifice green now because they've actually got a green in Amnykon's home. That's pretty tempting. There's not a lot of hope of Roundabout ever getting a yellow ship, though, so this might not be super great. I think Roundabout might be better off, instead of destroying the blue star right now, they might be better off building some medium ships so that they can trade for that medium yellow. They're feeling the indecision. They build the G2. Amnykon builds more red. Okay. So if they just started capturing things back and forth, Amnykon now can, in one move, capture the medium green and one of the reds, or both of the reds. They should probably take both reds, I suppose. My thought for a while was that Roundabout should trade their medium for the yellow, but at this point, if they do that, Amnykon captures it, and Amnykon has all of the yellow again. Roundabout has no way to get a fourth yellow into Amnykon's home, so it's not actually much progress. Okay, sacrificing G3. Build green, red, and green. Yeah, that's pretty good. I would have even considered putting that large green in Amnykon's home. Let's see if they think of that. No, they keep their home defended with a large. Now there is so much red and medium of roundabouts in Amnykon's home that Amnykon can't stop this invasion by capturing any two ships. Um, let's see, if Amnykon sacrifices R2 and captures R2, G2, Amnykon can capture back the R2, and then Amnykon can sacrifice the other R2 to capture the mediums back. Okay, so Amnykon can kind of get control of their home again. They can, if they just start trading back and forth captures, Amnykon can end up with all of the mediums. That's something anyway. Um, boy, what a thing. I don't know what Amnykon should do here. They're going to sacrifice and capture. So maybe they're thinking about the capture trades. Moving a red home for the catastrophe. Yeah, just getting those reds out of there. That's tempting. I don't know how this would turn out. Let's fast forward a little and see what they commit to. Yeah, I do like the idea of keeping yellow totally out of Roundabout's hands. Okay, with that red catastrophe, Roundabout only got one red ship, Amnykon's only got one red ship. Let's see where they go from here. Yeah, and Amnykon has enough yellow that they can move two things at once and potentially make a lot more of a threat to Roundabout, and quickly, than Roundabout can make. Roundabout, though, is left with an opportunity to build a large ship. They might even want to do a switcheroo. They could sacrifice G2, rebuild the G2 at home, and build the G3 in Amnykon's home. Amnykon really has to sacrifice their red to capture it, and Roundabout could then build again for a green overpopulation. Amnykon will have wasted their red. Well, they will have used their red to get rid of the greens in their home. I don't know, boy. Sacrificing the G3 to rebuild G3 and finally build that last blue in Amnykon's home for the overpopulation. Pretty interesting and reasonable, I think. Yeah, giving Roundabout a material advantage, but still no yellow access. Without any yellow ships, you can't really finish off a yellow star or win in any other way. You almost always have to move multiple ships in one move to create any kind of overpopulation or to create a fatal capture threat. Okay, Roundabout changes their mind. Sacrifices the G3 for 2 red builds at home. One of those is okay. I would definitely pick up the other large green as long as it's available, because a material advantage, as it turns out, helps a lot. Although having 2 reds would make it easier for them to recapture things that Amnykon captures. Oh boy, what a... Okay, what a tangly position. Let's see what Roundabout settles on. I like this move best. You get the material advantage and pick up an additional red ship. What does Amnykon do? They finally get that other yellow out of the bank. Okay. Now what? Roundabout trades one of their greens for red. I don't like that move too much. Amnykon can take both of those mediums away from Roundabout and still have a red in this way. Oh, invading that colony. That's quite good. That's an overpacked colony. Roundabout has the material advantage. They can move in a large. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Or they can factory build to destroy their own green ships. No, don't like that so much. Thinking about finally destroying that blue star. No. Trading G3 for R3. Ooh. I like that, except that Amnykon can move in for the overpopulation. They've been they've been Roundabout's been using Amnykon's home as a base of operations for so long that they've got to spread out the greens that they've had posted there so that they can keep building. That's really quite wild. Okay. Uh, but they changed their mind about that too. Okay, invading the colony. All right, they commit to the colony invasion. Um, yeah, Amnykon, I guess, should start running because otherwise Roundabout will take the red and continue to capture. Or I suppose they could build red in that colony so that they can recapture anything that Roundabout takes. Sacrificing Y2 to evacuate 2 ships at once. Yeah, Roundabout has no yellow, so this G3 is now quite stranded. That's not a totally unreasonable thing to do. Just run away with 2. Yeah, because the G3 is not going to make it to Electra. And Roundabout doesn't have any... Well, they've got these greens they could trade for yellow. But that's it. No, I think Roundabout should take one of these blues. Kind of the obvious thing. Oh, no, I don't like that. One of the things Roundabouts had going for them is that they're hanging a blue star demolition right over Amnykon's head. Trading away one of those blues makes it so Amnykon can capture that blue, and Roundabout won't be able to demolish the star anymore. I don't care for that move. Trading for that yellow, Amnykon can capture it, though they'd be completely out of red. And they don't really need to capture it because Roundabout's not going to be getting any more yellow. Discovering it as a star. Let's just fast forward to what they decide on. Discovers it as a star. It takes it out of the bank, so Amnykon can't use it, but it's not a whole lot of good to Roundabout either. I'm going to try to pick up the pace of my commentary just a little bit, because I feel like this game may have been kind of a long one. I have lost track of time, though, because I am having a wonderful time watching this game unfold. I think I remember this game being discussed in the Discord channel a little, but I didn't pay a lot of attention. I don't know what happened. Or it might have been a different game. I don't know. All right. Amnykon builds red. Yeah, Amnykon's been tempted to sacrifice their only red ship a few times now. It would be nice if that didn't have to be the way of things. Roundabout considering, once again, destroying that blue star. Or spreading out the blues. That's interesting. Yes, well, so Amnykon can now capture that blue star, that one blue ship. They can do it by sacrificing just the R1. That's kind of what I'd be inclined to do, I think. Sacrificing the medium blue to trade for blue and red. How odd. In that way, they're leaving the star demolition threat in place, and they're offering Roundabout a chance to capture a red ship rather than a blue, thereby effectively spreading out their reds and upgrading a small to a medium all at once. I don't think I like that move much from Amnykon. Let's see what Roundabout picks. Yeah, capturing the R2 is my pick, or maybe demolishing the star. Yeah, they take the red. Yeah, and again, Amnykon doesn't want to sacrifice their only red ship. Is Amnykon trying to empty the blue from the bank before Roundabout gets around to destroying their blue star? This may be the longest lived embassy I've ever seen in an enemy home. It's then been there for many, many turns. All right, Amnykon thinking about getting a B3 out of the bank. No, they go for the R3. Um, I'm getting the feeling right now that I'm missing something pretty important on the board. This game's been going long enough. I think my brain is slowing down a little bit, getting a little tired. Move from Deneb to Gemma. I don't see much value in that. I'm probably missing something. Okay. Sacrifice G2 to build 2 greens in Amnykon's home. To build 2 blues there, rather. Yeah, they could demolish the star. They could also make that a factory by sacrificing the G3 instead of the G2. But they might want to do it by sacrificing the G2 here in Amnykon's home if they're thinking about pulling out permanently. One less thing for Amnykon to capture. Oh, that's an interesting G3 sacrifice. Builds a capture threat in Amnykon's home and blows up the star at the same time. Amnykon has to... Oh, how cool. Oh man, I love this move. Okay, destroys the star. Amnykon absolutely has to capture this large green that's just been built in their home. Okay, I'm getting the whiteboard back out. All right. In just a moment, I think the Roundabout's going to catastrophe these pieces. Amnykon has got to capture that G3, so they sacrifice their R1 to capture the G3. That's what a capture looks like. Now, Roundabout sacrifices their G3, rebuilds the G3, and... Oh, there's nothing... Well... Darn. Okay. Somehow I thought that there was going to be one more G3 left in the bank so that they could build green in Amnykon's home, catastropheing these ships and maintaining the green they had at home, but that's not actually the case. Okay, I love this move a little less than I did a moment ago. Let's see if they commit to it. Nope, they don't commit anyway. Roundabout just building a blue. Don't think that's as good. Okay, let's fast forward to the real move. They build that blue. That is a blue that can move into Amnykon's home, but if they want to move it there, then they should have just built it there in the first place. Maybe they wanted to build the blue here, then spread the blues out and try to build the larger ships. Yeah, Amnykon can now discover... Boy, they're discovering more red. That keeps these mediums safe from Roundabout's mediums threatening them. But I'm a little surprised that Amnykon didn't discover a blue star because they would finally have taken away Roundabout's threat of building 2 blues at once and destroying Amnykon's blue star. At least all at once. They could still build 1 blue and then move in another blue, since they've got some hint here in a yellow star. Okay, Roundabout thinking once again about a factory move. That, I like that fairly well. Amnykon in this position has got to sacrifice their R1 to take the B3, and then Roundabout can move in a Y1 for the overpopulation, so that Amnykon's out their only red ship. They'll have to trade for another one, and whatever they trade, well, I guess they could trade their only blue for it. Otherwise, they're trading a yellow, putting a yellow in the bank, which is something that Roundabout would love to happen because they've been out of yellow for a long time. So I like that fairly well. Amnykon absolutely has to capture. Uh, Boy, unless if they got something else, I guess they could trigger the catastrophe themselves. They could sacrifice Y2 to move a B2 into their own home for the catastrophe. But that's a pretty gross thing to have to do. Or they can, yeah, that's what they do. And they commit to it. Oh my glory. Um well, okay. So what happens now? Amnykon has all of the yellow but one. There's not enough yellow left in the bank for Roundabout to ever overpopulate Amnykon's home star. But they're down a home star. Sacrifice G3 to rebuild G3. And red. They, I think, would like very much for Amnykon to sacrifice the only red they've got. They're invading the colony with the red, maybe. Sacrificing G3 to build green and some red. Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure Amnykon does not have a choice besides capturing that G3. They don't have any green for the overpopulation defense. Okay. Now what does Roundabout do? Do they, for example, sacrifice G2 to rebuild G2 here, overpopulating the greens, and then with one extra build action, ooh, you know, if they built another R1, then this little yellow won't be able to trade for red because all the small reds will be out of the bank. Amnykon will be locked out of red. At least until, I guess, this Y2 could get to a blue star and trade for red, but oh boy. This is getting very interesting. So they're thinking about that move. I don't think they can do any better with the G3 sacrifice. They built the G2, the R1. Wow. What a fascinating position. Amnykon has no red, and they're going to have a hard time getting it. Building the Y2. Okay, this is looking draw-ish. If Amnykon can't get any red and Roundabout can't get any yellow. Oh, I guess it's not draw-ish. There is this yellow star. So Roundabout could start marching their G3 across the map. In 2 turns, they're in Amnykon's home, and Amnykon has no red. Think about this colony invasion instead. Sacrifice G3, discovering a G1 star. Amnykon, yeah, they've got to get themselves some red. So they move to a blue star so they can trade. Yeah, but Roundabout can just threaten it. Uh, yeah, moving the R2 to that blue star would be... Well, it would be all right at least. It would be stuck, though. I don't know if that runs them into trouble or not. Roundabout can build blue without danger since Amnykon doesn't have any blue. Amnykon... Somebody offered a draw. Amnykon offered a draw. So Amnykon is thinking that this looks draw-ish, I guess. But no, I think Roundabout should be moving their G3 across the map. Maybe they think they need to leave the G3 at home just in case, and so they're building blues so that they can get a large blue to invade with. Yeah, Roundabout did not take the draw. Roundabout discovers that B3. Roundabout builds red. Amnykon passes. A complete pass. No action whatsoever. Roundabout spreads out the reds. Amnykon passes. Roundabout sacrifices G1 to build R3. And now Roundabout has a spare large ship. I think there wouldn't have been anything wrong with them marching this G3 across the map a few turns ago for the victory. Amnykon sacrifices their mothership to take out the Formalhut colony in a supernova. But that's it. That's the end of the game. Wow. That was a really interesting one. I think the thumbnail will have to have something to do with Amnykon having 10,000 small invading ships in their home. Uh, yeah, I don't remember any particular blunder on Amnykon's part. Just a few little things I would have done different here and there that I called out as we were going, but nothing that looked like it would have turned the course of the battle. Um, really clever on Roundabout to see that they had that chance to move in to Amnykon's home and make a life there that Amnykon couldn't deal with. All right, well, thank you for watching.